concept like this, and we all imagine, at least I'm sitting here saying, great idea, should be obvious. You guys must have an innovation or an insight that is going to help distinguish you from folks who previously had a similar idea and crashed on the rocks. So tell us a little bit about how this is better than all the other things that never got out of the box previously and what you've learned from any of those experiences.
Yeah, so the biggest thing that we've seen to start with is that a lot of things that are of this type are focused on building a social network. And the biggest problem with building a social network is there's no value to it until there's all the value. The value is in the people. But we created something that's giving information. That's why we partner with businesses first before we go for users. And so if there's only one user on our platform, they already have all of the value because we have all of this extra information for them. They have the events that they need to go to. They can unlock that content when they get there, and then more people on it just adds greater value. But we're not based around a social network.
I have to say, I've heard this before, but honestly, I've never, what you guys have done with analytics is impressive. I've never seen anyone who's been able to give real-time data, because that's what a lot of people are looking for that they don't get. So the question I wanted to ask you is, as you're leveraging big data, are you guys looking at predictive analytics where you will be able to push people to those events so that if I'm a music show, you can actually attract people to my show because you've kind of predicted the type of people I'm looking for?
Yeah, so definitely once we get the platform more established and have more data coming through, that's one of the things that we're going to be looking to do early so we can leverage what people are doing and give the businesses even more value and the users more value that way. Right now, we're not really at the point where we can do that, but definitely in the near future, we want to implement something like that.
And Keith won't say it himself, but he's already been playing with machine learning.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Learning trees,
He's very
machine
good.
learning,
Oh, yes.
and stuff like that. Fantastic.
And on top of that, the umbrella organization that we're working with, we can't disclose yet, what they're focusing on is push notifications. And we've already defined what allows you to actually push notify somebody. If somebody goes to a tourism event more than twice, then we know that they're active, and then you can push notify them again. So that's already kind of the basis of that machine learning that you talk about.
Technologically very impressive.
So if you are, right now we have the draft in Philadelphia, and it's causing chaos. This is a transient event. This is going to happen, and then everybody's leaving. How would you use this for what's going on in a very circumscribed couple of day event that's going to draw people in?
Yeah, definitely. So the NFL would hopefully partner with us. They'd be able to create all of these different geo spots around the area of the draft. So if they had a couple different venues and it spanned a couple different days, they'd be able to fill those spots with geofence content with all the relevant information that people at that location would need. And then people in the city would be able to see and then come to the NFL draft and be able to experience it. And then in addition to that, since we're more than just an app for one company, they'd be able to experience Philadelphia and see everything else that's going on.
I would hope that that worked. Both Comcast and Verizon tried that with both the Democratic National Convention and the Pope's visit, and it failed miserably. So there's your opportunity.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was focused on that one event. And I don't know, I mean, we're all millennials here, and a lot of us know there is a very limited amount of space on our phones. So we're not going to download one app for one thing for the draft and then be like, yep, I left the draft, but I'm totally going to keep this app. You're going to delete it. That's exactly what happens. So it doesn't get that repeat use.
So how committed are each of you to this idea?
We're waiting on that.
Yeah, we're in full time. We're all graduating seniors, biomedical engineer, electrical engineer, finance. We make a really strong team together, and we're all in. We're jumping in together.
Yeah, we're all going to be working on this right after we graduate. We're going to be working in Wilmington. So anybody who wants to help us out from Wilmington, right over here.
What if a good job offer came along to one of you? What would you do?
Yeah, good question. We all had good job offers.
So I like your strategy of working with partner organizations to try to spread the word, but you're relying on them then to get there and your users to download the app. How do you help influence them to get their end users downloading the app? And is there revenue sharing relationships that you can encourage them to?
That's exactly what we're working on. With the tourism organization that we're working on, we're trying to do a revenue sharing opportunity where they can bring on smaller businesses, they can bring on other events, so it's in their benefit to do so because they can make back some of the money that they're spending with us. On top of that, we're also just going to these events where
Judges, that's your time.
manually bringing on users.